Welcome back to Wall Again, where passion meets music. And in this new series of episodes, I'm going to be running through the top 100 classic rock albums of all time. Now, this list was compiled by Classic Rock magazine in the year 2000. And I picked up that magazine, I used to buy them quite a lot. And I used this list as a template as to what albums I should be going out and buying, getting into rock music, being young, playing guitar, and all the rest of it. I'm going to run through the albums from 100 right through to 1. And I'm going to give my honest opinion and ranking on them and review of them. Some of these albums I've picked up, actually the majority I've probably picked up throughout my lifetime, but there's a lot of albums that I actually didn't end up picking up. Maybe I got a best of and I just listened to the songs on that and decided, okay, the best of was good enough for me and I didn't really need to dive into this band anymore. So the first album on the list, album number 100 in the list, is Kiss Destroyer. So I picked up the best of Kiss and I thought that was good enough. That was enough for me to get a whole appreciation of the band. I'm not a massive Kiss fan, they're okay. I think the best of is absolutely fine for me, and a lot of the songs off this album, Destroyer, are on this greatest hits. So we'll just run through the album. It was the fourth studio album released by the band in 1976 through Casablanca Records. It was produced by Bob Ezrin, who's a fantastic producer. He obviously worked with the likes of Pink Floyd. I think he also worked with Queen. And it was recorded in Electric Lady Studios in New York City. So Kiss staying very close to home there. They were a New York band, and I suppose they wanted to stay in the city and get the whole vibe into the album. I have to say the production on this album isn't great. It's pretty raw, which is surprising from Bob Ezrin. But maybe they were just going for that kind of a sound. I know punk rock was just about to kick off around the mid to late 70s, so maybe Kiss were inspired by that, or maybe they just didn't know any better. Maybe it was down to budgets. I actually don't know the reason why the production on this album isn't great, but it's not, in my opinion. So I've been streaming this album all week to really get under the skin, to try and figure out what this album's all about, what makes it so popular, because I know, especially in America with hard rock fans, this album is hailed as one of the best rock or hard rock albums of all time. And I really wanted to find out, what I thought of it, is that true, and all the rest. So yeah, it's definitely a hard rock album, there's no doubt about it. You've got riffs there from Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley. Of course, you've got great bass lines from Gene Simmons, and then drums from Peter Criss. But it's not very complex, the music. It's fairly simple, fairly straightforward song structures. And I think that the simple song structures actually helps the album to appeal to a wider audience, because it's rock, but it's not that complex. Certainly very different from all the prog rock and stuff like that was being released around this time. So for me, the favourite tracks on this album would be Detroit Rock City, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's got a good riff on it. It's a high octane rock song, and it's also got Ace Frehley in there with that phenomenal solo in the middle of the song. So I think Detroit Rock City is one of the standout tracks on this album. I also like God of Thunder, which is of course sung by Gene Simmons, the bassist. He's not a great vocalist. I think it's a good song, but it's not because of the vocals that I think it's a good song. I just think it's got a good groove and some good riffs in there. But yeah, I think they're the two strongest songs on the album. A lot of the rest of the album didn't really do much for me, to be honest. I'm just looking at some of my notes here. Some of the songs I'd skip. I know Beth is a massive hit. It was of course sung by Peter Criss, the drummer, but I really don't like it. I think there's way better songs, way better Kiss songs, and way better Kiss ballad songs than this particular one. I never saw the allure of Beth. I don't think it's a great song. I know people love it, and I'll probably get some feedback in the comments from people saying that they love this song, but it's not for me. I really don't like it. And another song, Great Expectations, I thought that was pretty poor as well. So all in all, I'm going to give this album a ranking of 5 out of 10. It's not great, to be honest. It's coming in this list at number 100. If I picked my 100 top classic rock albums of all time, it probably wouldn't even make the list. So I really think it's a poor album. I think it was put in here maybe to just keep the Kiss fans happy. They had to put a Kiss album somewhere in this list, so they picked their best album and they stuck it in at number 100. But I think it's probably to the detriment of other bands. So yeah, we'll see what the rest of the list pulls up. But certainly for me, I wouldn't have this album on my list. So let me know in the comments what you think below of this album, Destroyer by Kiss. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe. And I will talk to you on the next one. Bye for now.